Welcome to the Black Wealth Creator Podcast, where we help uplift the Black community through financial education. So this is a new podcast that I'm doing, and I'm excited about it. I'm thrilled about it. I'm really looking forward to where it goes. I believe it's going to help a lot of people. I believe it's going to do great things. So in this podcast, we are going to learn about money, learn about investing, learn about financing, learn about business. We're going to learn about wealth creation, wealth building, generational wealth. We're going to learn about so many things on this channel, and it's geared towards Black people. I'm going to talk about this later on, but it's geared towards Black people, but it can help anybody. But I'm just really excited, really thrilled. The name of the podcast again is Black Wealth Creator Podcast. Okay. I'm going to try and have it in all our platforms. I just want you to give it a listen, give it a like, comment, share. If it helps you, I'm so happy. So, it's not going to be a long form show. I'm going to try and have guests on here from time to time. But we're just going to be going over some of the basics of money, whether it's debt, whether it's savings, whether it's investing. We're going to be going over some of the basic things that you can do to begin to build wealth. We're going to be going over some of the basic things you can do to advance your wealth. So let's dive in. So my manager at my current position, yes, I still work. My manager at my current position, he always says it's unkind to be unclear. So I kind of want to explain the title of the podcast in this first episode, because a lot of people are going to be like, Black Wealth Creator. I kind of know what it means, but what do you mean when you say Black Wealth Creator? Black. I'm Black, of course. My wife's Black. My daughter's Black. My mom and dad are Black. We're Black. Like, my community I grew up in was majority Black, but so this podcast therefore is geared towards Black people, helping them understand and helping them grow in their financial literacy, because I feel like a lot of Black people had kind of missed that growing up, and not so much that it was any fault of their own, it was just not given to them when they were growing up. So what does Black mean? So when I say Black, what do I mean? So the definition that I'm going to use is adjective, the second definition, of any human group having dark skin, especially of African or Australian original, or you know what I mean, ancestry. So, but basically I'm talking about Black folks. Like I'm Black, my mom Black, grandma Black. I just want to help. And I want to help that spectrum of Blackness, from elderly, understanding your Social Security, understanding taxes, understanding like if I'm going to be doing research. So if I can find out some stuff about Social Security that can help you, Medicaid, whatever, I'm going to be trying to look into all of those things to uplift Black people. But also my mom's age, I'm 31. She's in her 50s. And so even her age, hey, y'all getting close to retirement. And like I said, financial literacy it's a gap there. Like, Black people weren't always taught about financial literacy. We weren't always allowed to learn. Crazy. I know that's crazy to some, but it's the truth. We weren't allowed to learn about certain things. So I just want to help all this whole entire spectrum. Then you got my age, 30, and then even down to my daughter's age, who's 5, almost should be 6 next year. But even down to her age, even down further, like just teaching them about money, how to delayed satisfaction or delayed gratification. Like, what does it mean to invest? What does it mean to save? What does it mean to just wait and have all the money and then purchase that thing? What does it mean to finance? What does it mean to really mean to finance? Like, what should you be financing? What shouldn't you be financing? We're going to talk about debt, credit card debt. They say good debt, bad debt. What do they mean when they say those things? Like, terminology. Is there such thing as good debt? Some people say cash only. Some people say, so use other people's money. So I want to go over all this broad spectrum of finances and money and all of these things, wealth. So black wealth. So wealth. Wealth by definition means an abundance of valuable material possessions or resources. Abundant supply. A property that has a monetary value or exchangeable value. All material objects that have economic utility. One thing I want to differentiate on this channel is that when I say wealth, I'm not talking about just millennials who don't have a lot of responsibilities right now, who just have money coming in. To them, yeah, wealth can be generational wealth. I'm in a place where I can begin to really grow generational wealth for my daughter, for my son. Like, I can really begin to grow generational wealth. But like I said, my mom, even my grandma, they're not in places. They're not trying to grow generational wealth. They're just trying to make sure they have money to live off of in these next 10 to 15 years when they begin to. My grandma, she's already in retirement, but when my mom begins to enter into retirement, she just needs money to live off of. So you don't want to be working as she told us growing up, you don't want to be working in a plant all your life. So how do we begin to help her understand about her money? That's the basis of this channel. So I have this statement where I'm just saying, we're talking to those people who are trying to grow generational wealth. So I will give you tips and tricks and how to do those things. But also I'm just talking to people who want to learn the basics, the bare minimum of finances. When you look at your bank statement, what does it mean to have a debit or a credit? What does it mean why should we avoid fees? Why should we avoid interest that is against us in credit cards and stuff like that? So I'm going to talk about all these things on this channel. And so that's just what wealth means. Creator. So creator, and that there was only one definition. All the rest of them, black had a lot of definitions. Wealth had a lot of definitions, but creator only had one definition. One that creates usually something new or original into being. So the reason I want to have creator, because it's not just Black Wealth Podcast. The reason I want creator on there is because I put it back on you, the listener, you, the viewer, because you have a responsibility to learn these things, to do more research. I'm only going to be giving you about 20 minutes worth of information because I feel like an hour long is just too long to just sit on here and hear me talk. A lot of these concepts are going to be basic in nature. I want to give you examples. So I'm only going to give you about a good 20 minutes. Also, that's about how long my camera will last before it dies on me. But no, I'm only going to give you about 20 minutes of information. And once you have that information, it's up to you in how you utilize it. How do you create from it? So I put it back on you because one thing I've learned as becoming a man and as becoming an adult, it's always on me. No matter what happened in my childhood, no matter what happened growing up, no matter even it's on me now. And so I have to create this. And if I choose not to do it, when I pass away and I leave my daughter nothing, that's on me. As a man, I feel like as a man in my age, like I said, we're talking about different ranges of ages, different spectrum of people. So to me, at my age, if I leave my daughter with nothing, I feel like I'm gonna feel like a little bit of a failure as a parent and as a man. Like if she has to take out loans and stuff to bury me, like or if she has to take out loans and stuff to pay off bills and stuff, like, or if they have to come repo my car and that, no, I'm gonna feel real bad as a man if I'm in that condition when I pass away. So like I said, it's just I put it back on me. Like I learned responsibility. I learned this and I wasn't as you grow up, yes, you learn about responsibilities, but it didn't really sink into me until I went through some things in life, and I was just like, no, this was on me. Like even currently, I'm not coming from a place of, oh, I'm completely debt free. I got $100 million in the bank, or $100,000 in the bank, or whatever. $100 in the bank. I got $100 in the bank, but I'm coming at you from a place of like, I'm still as they would say, in the struggle, but I'm not struggling. Like, I'm still fighting my way to get out of debt. I'm still fighting my way to get more cash flow. We'll talk about that. To get my income to debt ratio down. Like, we'll talk about that, especially if you're thinking about buying a house and stuff like that. So like I said, I want to bring people onto the podcast. I know some life insurance people. We'll talk about that. I know some people who are debt free. We'll talk about that. I know some people who are in the music industry who like trying to create income from that. So I know all types of people. I know people who are starting ministries. So I know a large range of people who I would love to have on the podcast, and see how we can just grow together as a community and learn about the different ways to create wealth, the different ways to get out of debt, the different avenues we can take to lessen the debt burden or to increase our income and those things. So this podcast is going to be a broad range of topics, a broad range of just helpful advice to you. I'm a spiritual guy, so you might hear me say, man, I thank God for this, I thank God for that. It won't be a straight spiritual podcast, but of course, I feel like in all things we'll talk about, I might have a topic of tithing, because I really feel like in my life that's just blown me up. Like, it's just I've done it for a long time, then I stopped doing it. I watched what happened to me, and then I started back doing it. I've seen what happened since. So we'll talk about that. We're just going to talk about a broad range of money, finance, all of this good stuff that I'm very happy about, that a lot of people aren't happy about, or it's so complicated that they don't care about it. But on this channel, we're just going to show you how simple it can be, what it basically means, and like how we can move from there. So what gives you the right to talk about this? First of all, I'm a person living. I'm a human being living in this world, having a human experience. And that human experience, as all of us are aware of, there's money in it. Like, if money wasn't a part of our lives, then that's one thing. But money is a part of every one of our lives, whether we're homeless. And I'm praying for the homeless people. My wife always says that, like, if it's super cold outside, she's like, Lord bless the homeless people. I love that woman. But whether you're homeless, that means you have a monetary deficit. Whether you are a billionaire, you have a monetary surplus. So our lives, and we don't love money. For the love of money is the root of all evil. And some of that spiritual stuff I'm telling you about. But we don't love money. But we have to realize that it is an absolute part of our lives that we have to be aware of, that we have to understand and grow and learn about. And really, we have to conquer it and master it. Because if you don't master money, it will master you. And you will become a slave to money, where you have to work all your life and you have to do what it takes to make money to survive, because money's the only way you can really survive. And there's not, of course, God, but he can take care of you, but he's going to probably be some way giving you some money. So money's at the root of it all, I guess you can say. So Black Wealth Creator, we broke down Black, we broke down wealth, and we broke down creator. So I'm just excited about the podcast. I will not ramble on. I know it's not 20 minutes, and that's fine. Some days we might go 10, some days we might go 20. We might do the whole 20 sometimes. Sometimes we might do 5, 10. Like, it all depends. Some days I might drop on a Tuesday. Some days I might drop on a Friday. I'm going to try and do it weekly. I just want to let you know that. But I just wanted to keep it light. In the comments below, please let me know what are some topics about money that you would like to learn about. What are some things you're going through? Keep it anonymous. You don't have to dive all your business or whatever. But we're just going to grow together. Like, we're going to learn about money. I'm going to learn more about it. You're going to learn more about it, and we're going to have fun doing so. Thank you for listening today. Remember, getting money is easy, but building wealth takes time and effort. Anybody can do it, especially you. Thank you, and be blessed.